Hello everyone and welcome to Stan the Wine Man TV. I am your host, Stan Rotana. This is the Blue Collar Wine Show where I help you spend your wine dollars wisely. Nothing gets my heart pumping faster than finding great values. I love it. I'm known for it in the community, in the store I work in. Everybody knows that I'm all about great value wines, and I think that we need to emphasize great value wines if we want the 25 to 35-year-olds to get back into wine. Now, I'm sure there's some of you out there that are into wine, you like it, but in that age group, I remember being 21 to 30, discretionary income was very limited. So finding great values was a big deal to me back then. It's a big deal to me now. And these are 4 wines that I sell at the store, Kings Mark and Friday Harbor, that are 13 bucks. And they deliver big time. Now, one of these is a change in vintage, so I'm curious to see if it still shines like it did in the older vintage. We're going to get started with that exact one. This is, I was trying to find out the grapes, and this is a Portuguese red from Douro, the Douro Valley up in the northern part of Portugal. It's called Sojvine Vida Red. Vida means life. This is the only thing I can find out about this wine, and I apologize for this, but is that it does have Touriga Nacional. And when it comes to Portuguese grapes, I know this can be confusing. So Touriga Nacional is a very popular grape. Tinto Franca, Tinto Ruiz, which is Tempranillo. Those are all grapes in the Douro Valley. They don't make sense to a lot of people. But the key is whether the wine is good or not. That's really the key. This is 13% alcohol, which is kind of cool. So 13% alcohol from the Douro. I know it has Touriga Nacional in it, one of the very popular grapes in Portugal. So let's check this one out. 13 bucks. Again, that's a price point I really love. So it's got some, you can see through it a little bit, kind of a reddish color. See that? I don't know if you can see it against this board, but I'm trying my best. I'm behind a bar, so it makes it a little bit tougher. Let's see what we get on the nose. Oh, gotta get this organized here. There we go. So it gets kind of a boysenberry plum, a little bit of red fruits coming through. There's even some chocolate notes on this one. And the thing to remember about wines that are like $13, they don't use any new oak at all. You can't come through, you can't get that kind of a price using brand new oak. So some of them will use big, huge casts, wood casts, which are very neutral. A lot of they do that, especially in the old world. Or they'll use used oak barrels that have long ago given up their flavor profile. So a lot of times, and sometimes they'll use stainless steel, concrete. I get some minerality coming through on this one as well. Red fruits, little boysenberry, some plum notes, red plums, and some chocolate. Let's see what we get on the palate. Exactly what I remember about this one. It's a 10 in the delicious category. It's really, really good. It has some minerality to it, a little chalky minerality on the finish. But overall, you get that kind of red plum, blackberry, a little bit of chocolate comes through on the backside. Nicely balanced. Not high in acidity. A very approachable wine. This is a pizza wine. You can have a pizza party, pour this, everybody will love it. $13. That's a great price point. I like the expansion of the fruit on the mid-palate. And there's even some dark fruits that come through a little bit on the mid-palate. I got that a little bit on the nose with that blackberry thing going on. But the chocolate comes through. Nice finish. This is a very, very quaffable, easy to drink wine that is well made. And that's what I'm looking for in good value wines. And this is, there's nothing fake about this. It has no makeup. It's just a really good bottle of wine for $13. And I would go straight up. I'd go straight up B-B on that. I think it's a solid wine for the money. Now we're going to Spain always never surprises me to go to Spain for good values. This is the Real Madre Graciano is the name of the grape. This is from Rioja, and Graciano is the other grape of Rioja. Oftentimes it'll be blended into Rioja with Tempranillo, but this is just a straight up Graciano. Again, $13. Yes, I go to Spain, Portugal many times for good value wines. Some of the best places to find them. And let's go. All of a sudden this is not big enough. Okay, so the color on this is darker than the Vita red, Vita meaning life. Yeah, you get a really kind of a darker red color hue. You know, you can't see through this nearly as much. Let me get some of the stuff off of it. Bar. Okay, let's see what we get on those. Entirely different nose on this one. I get almost like a Smucker's grape jam. Interesting kind of earthy notes. Some dark cherry coming through as well, so you get that kind of grape dark cherry notes through. A bit of licorice as well. So Graciano, the other grape of Rioja. Let's see what we get on the palate. Wow, just such a good wine. I mean, it's fresh. It has the fruit to it, but it's not over the top. Very balanced. I get that dark cherry kind of grape. Not Smucker's, not sweet. Don't get me wrong, it is a drier style wine, but it has good fruit to it. And these are the things I look for especially new wine drinkers that are breaking into wine, but also for people that are having a big party, having a lot of people over. They want a good wine, but they don't want to spend a ton of money. I get it. I don't want to spend a ton of money when I'm having a lot of people over. So this is just, I love this wine. There's almost that's what I'm getting, a little bit of black tea coming through on the mid palate into the finish with that fruit, with that dark cherry, a little bit of maybe blackberry as well. A lot of dark cherry on this one, a lot of black cherry. Yeah, that cool kind of black tea thing coming through really adds to the complexity of this wine with a little minerality on the finish. Again, a great bottle of wine. This would stand up to a steak for sure. Be good with pizza as well. So if you've never tried a Graciano, you won't see them a lot in a grocery store probably. This one is a very good one. And then there's some spice coming through on the backside. Very solid wine. I'm going to go BB plus on that. I think it's a very, very good wine. $13. So now we're going to move on to the Corvidae Lenore Washington State Syrah. Corvidae Wine Company is part of the Owen Rowe portfolio. David O'Reilly. 13.4 alcohol. There you go. $13. And I'm going to give you a little inside information. I'm going to get this video out before the beginning of October. But this is going to be my pick of the month for October. $13. So good color on this one. About the same as the Graciano. Maybe even a little lighter than that. I don't know if you can tell, but yes, you can see through it a little bit. There you go. So this is cool. I love this wine. It has that kind of bacon fat that comes through, that smoked bacon fat thing on the nose, which you expect from a Syrah. Sort of a Marionberry bacon fat. Plum coming through on this one as well. Look, char, you know, the bacon fat kind of charry on the nose. Charry on the nose. Cherry, no, char. What a beautiful wine. A little blueberry coming through. I didn't get that so much on the nose, but definitely a blueberry, Marionberry, plum thing going on the palate. Very solid fruit, but very balanced. It's not a fruit bomb by any stretch of the imagination. It's true to Syrah. Has a little bit of that kind of bacon fat coming through on the back end of this one. It's just a good Washington State Syrah for 13 bucks. It's a crazy price. And when I first tasted this, I was just so impressed with it, and I still am impressed. Did we give a vintage on this? Yeah, 2019. 2019. Rio Madre. About 2020 on that one. And then the Duro was in 2021, I believe. Yes, 2021. Okay, so we're into the Lenore from Corvidae Wine Company, Syrah. You know, it's amazing that Syrah prices or sales have dropped so much. I have a lot of reasons for that. I won't get into it on this episode. We're just talking about great value wines. Oh, I can see a bunch of people digging this wine. This is fantastic, good flavors. It's going to be featured in my department at King's Market in the front of the aisle as my pick of the month for October. I think it's a beautiful October wine. You know, it has a bird on it, the kind of, you know, with the Halloween coming up at the end, kind of appropriate, but that's not why I picked it. It's just a beautiful wine, good balance, good flavors. You know, it's a great wine. I'm going to go BB plus on that one as well. So look at all these wines so far, $13. Now, this one has been a rock. I think I've reviewed this before, but we're going to do it again because this one has been a rock in the house, rock in the department. People keep coming back for it. We take it away from the stacks. This is the Pedroncelli Friends Red from Sonoma. This is a 2022 Sonoma County, California red blend. This is Merlot, Zinfandel, and Sangiovese. Showing California some love in the wines in the $13 category. Now, Pedroncelli's a big producer. They've been around a long time. You say, well, how can they do it down there? Well, they own a lot of their vineyards. This is very light. Well, that would make sense. Sangiovese. Merlot would give it a little bit of color, maybe some of the Zin, but Sangiovese is a lighter wine. Let's see what we get on the nose. Well, that's interesting. A little bit of nettle action. Nettles. A little veggie going on there, which is very, very interesting to me. Kind of like a dark chocolate. Definitely cherry notes, like ripe cherry, ripe little licorice come through, ripe cherry, maybe some plum. Yes. Now that veggie part kind of blew up, but it was very interesting. I love that kind of stuff. I think it's very cool when you get that. As long as it doesn't taste like nettles, I'm okay with that. What can you say? It's not a fruit bomb. It has more fruit than the rest of these. Nice dark cherry plum notes coming through. Maybe even a little bit of a ripe Marionberry in there. Good acidity. Nice balance. Like I said, these guys are big. They produce a lot of wine, so they're able to come out with these red blends like this. This is probably fruit they didn't use in some of their other varietals that they have. But man, they do a good job with this wine. It is just such a solid wine. It's talking about 10 in the delicious category. If you're going to serve this and that kind of dark chocolate comes at the end, I get just a touch of spice. Good finish. Hangs around just a little bit. All of these wines have great finishes, good balance, good complexity for the money. $13. When we're talking 13 bucks here, this Friends Red, if you brought that to the house, you better bring a few bottles because people are going to just love it. And I think it's a great wine for breaking in. If you're just thinking about getting into wine, you don't want to spend a lot of money, you're watching these wine programs where they're promoting $30, $40, $50 wines, and you're like, wow, you can't do it. These are 13 bucks, guys, and the Friends would be a good way to break into wine and really find out what it's about and then go from there. That's all I can ask. So there you go, $13 bottles of wine that shine. They're excellent values, good quality for the money. I love it. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Tell me if you found any wines in that $10 to $13 range that you think are stellar. Pass it on to me. I want to find out what they are. I want to try them, maybe bring them into the store. So if you have one of those wines, let me know. Thanks for taking a little time out of your day. Please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see what's coming up. You keep watching, and I'll keep helping you spend your wine dollars wisely.